out what to do with this composition. We called out Paper Tester, the Poppy, to go towards the Neferi, much nerfed pick. Can press W onto Pantheon W, but if you ever get Tien on the Pantheon, gets the stun, gets the triple auto attack afterwards, passive onto Vampire there, which again is actually quite scary. Dragon's going to start going down. Q will be back up a cooldown from timing now.
Over they come. Xiaohu and Karis looking to get involved. 1200 HP. Tien doesn't want to flash in there, I think, and so it's looking like Dragon will still be WEs. A little bit of a look. It might delay WE getting to lane here, and the wave does crash, so Taeyeon's going to lose a few more CS here.
So they've given up
hold of her Gromp. Got Dragon in 50 seconds. Do we want to see a reset here for buys? Where it's going to stick her? Oh my god, Monkey! That was a bit bold to blast Cone over into the Dying Blind River. X-Flash can look to go for something more. Karis down a flank angle. Double knock-up. Waybo in danger. The culling comes on down, but to what end? Tien low, but will not quite fall until just now. That's the reset. Where's the Hound's Pursuit Part 2? Do they want to jump onto light? No, they don't, but they're happy with the 2 kills.
That Hex Flash was game. Having the Dragons and a slight gold lead as well is a great moment of power for them. First item onto Monkey has been is really big for his champion too. And Waybo,
Pantheon can be a bit of a bait. You know, actually, you'll see teams start to leave him open a little bit more again, because if teams aren't using the ultimate correctly, his value is significantly lower. Crisp gets exhausted, doesn't have the flash, all the heal, is now in danger. The Glacial Fissure is solid enough, but he's still going to die. Reset now available for Monkey. Vampire makes his will unbreakable, decides he's likely dead, so we'll try and find an angle in. Light, Audacious charging away, Relentless pursuing away, will maybe make that a 1-for-1 as Monkey goes down to the shuffle from Xiaohu. Karis gets out 2 for 2 right now. Shroud comes down. Breathe now around and about. Xiaohu also low on about 10%. Has got soldiers working. Tien hops on forwards with the shield vault. But Taeyeon flashing in. Blows up the Emperor Shurima. Gets the barrier down. Breathe try to hop. Public execution. Should make that one another trade. 2 plays versus 2 players right now. Misses the Darkin Blade. Karis off on an angle. Can look for more. Crisp has respawned. Makes this a bit more interesting. Needs to get more of those Darkin Blades down. Decent healing against Thunder Sky is ridiculous. Karis to the backline. Onto Tien. He still comes off. Vampire's here again. Respawns. Allow for more violence. Shield Vault comes on through. Quite can't kill Paris. And I'm saying Paris because I don't know. I think I want to be somewhere else.
Neither team knows when to quit. WE will finish things off with a headbutt pulverize into death. And Waybo showcasing again that they're not really confident at picking the fights on the map. Very strong, as you were noting before. Breathe, no flash. I mean, there's no flash at all on Waybo. That could be a bit of a problem. I feel like they need them more than WE do.
Oh, jumping on him. Public execution on Karis. He's gone.
He's gone, and the Dragon isn't low enough to force the fight. What's Waybo's plan now? He's pressed the old key!
Here we go. Vampire will try and jump onto Chris, but it's just Chris. Tien will shield vault onto Taeyeon. Now shoving him back, and actually Q beginning to run rampant. He's pressed the old key, but his man dropped into the grave.
Tien drops into 4 members and achieves nothing. WE winning the 4v5 and will take the Dragon.
And they've still got a spike keep on Vampire, by the way. Makes things quite interesting. Cube will slide over. Cube, huge heroics in that fight. Actually left
Probably
Tien.
should have lost off of that, but of course Xiaohu had an awful game just after that point. Q misses there from Chris. Breathe not in range right now, and Chris caught out.
Gonna get headbutted back into the team. Should just die. Actually managed to jump back with the Unbreakable Will, but Monkey now gets to go forwards with the Hound's Pursuit. Dies. Little bit deep. Couldn't press the call of the pack in time. Breathe trying to jump around. Gets knocked over the wall. Nice headbutt there. Now Cube looking for more. Flash out of Tien keeps him alive. Cube's got the Sterex to work with, so won't take too much more damage from the soldiers. Ends up being a 2-for-1, but you've lost your smite.
Even though he's gone back, it's still very low though. He needs to be here. It's ASAP.
Yeah, Monkey's about to come on over, convince her over the wall, and maybe it's just bought enough time looking for that play. Chris can't get there in time. Monkey gets the Atacant. Chris now in danger, hit with the Shuriken flip. May well just die to the Hound's Pursuit. Great shuffle from Xiao, who denies the engage. Now looking for some more. Call the pack use, but the Brawl passive still there. Concussive blows on the dog. Vampire dead to the Comet Spear.
Ends up getting caught out by the sweeper. Tien outplaying him. He doesn't have the passive. Let's see what he can do.
Shield Vault comes on now. Cube got the Aatrox Salt. Breathe into the backline. Taeyeon in danger. Flashes away. Staying alive. Cube will manage to hold the line well enough for the squad.
Breathe misplaying there. Knew that Corki had the flash and still dashed away from turret, meaning that he couldn't get in range for the QT. Dragon started. Karis still on the flank. Cube on the other one. He also has flash. Waybo, you can't afford to get pincered. Oh, Cube's got too far.
Oh boy, he's got Sterex. Gets out of the public execution. Enough CC and tenacity to get out there. Karis now on a flank angle.
Cube just walks out of the ultimate. Karis now found on the flank. Cube can't teleport back in though.
Cube gonna come back on over. Half HP, doesn't have the world underwear with, but Karis in the backline gets the shield down, binds him down, Hound's Pursuit down, but it means the jungler's not on the Dragon. Taken by Tien. It's way too far from WE.
Monkey dies, doesn't get to smite the dragon. Xiaohu will go safely, and despite the fact that Breathe messed up,
Vampire trying to buy some time, does go down. Now Taeyun needs to Valkyrie away, buys a little bit of time, but Cube's so low, no ult to work with. Taeyun in danger, has a barrier and a dream. Breathe goes looking for him. Cube cancels the reset, light low, but not down. Cube caught under the turret, goes down, and Waybo Gaming are right back in the game.
How do they play like this after the game that they had? Waybo, I didn't think they'd be winning team fights at this point, but Cube getting caught out, walking.
Tien right back in the game as well over Monkey, only slightly. Need a much better fight from your Aatrox, I think, if you want to make this a better play. Mid lane turret about to fall as well. Only the third turret of the game, and WE, by the way, have only picked up one this game as well.
It's been more about the brawls, and they do have decent wave clear on both sides. I mean, with the Corki on one side and the Aatrox on the other side, the Azir and the Lucian able to clear off waves quite effectively. I think basically both teams have been scared to push onto turrets because
the punish is quite high.
The punish is very hard, especially with spellbook teleports in the game. That does add an extra factor to that too. Waybo typically very good at trading objectives. One of the big things we talked about in their last series.
Yeah.
If I was them, you know, they can trade objectives that have some good value from that. Tien will be able to move through topside jungle, spots a ward going down just there, and by that information we'll be able to see that.
I know you're talking about the TPs. It can be triple TP and a ground starfall from Waybo.
They knew they were there. That's dangerous, man.
Crisp is the one who's chosen to face check and does get away with it. TP now behind. It's Breathe looking for an angle. Taeyun got flash, but needs to be careful. There goes Breathe. Drake kept stepping forward with the last race. Flashes out of the public execution. Vampire tries to play time, but Light hops in and blows up the Corki. Cube doing his best as he can, but where does he go? The range is gone, and the TP value too high.
It's only one kill. Is it enough to start the Baron properly? Monkey gets some damage down, heals up from the Q2. Alistair, does he have a spellbook teleport? Might be able to make it back into the play.
See whether he does. Keep your eyes on those summon spell down to half. In goes Monkey. Just gets eviscerated. We worried about this in draft, but they got so ahead, you began to think it wouldn't matter. But they dive into the Lion's Maw, and everyone falls.
The Azir proccing the Braum passive so frequently through the fight is so nasty. Vampire doesn't have a smite, has a flash, but it won't matter. Waybo will get themselves Baron onto 4.
What's he looking to do here? He has just switched over to the smite. Flash, no ult. He's going to have to give it up. Dragons in a minute. Maybe they just try and play around the soul instead.
So Waybo get themselves the Baron, and they are well and that's their angle right now. Without Karis being as strong as he was before could be a problem.
He's level 16, so less squishy than he might have been earlier in the game. Lead out a little here, but not a huge amount. The Dark and Daggers doing their best to cull a little of that HP, but the dragon has started. Big second dragon for Waybo. Crisp is body blocking, preventing them getting anywhere near here as Xiaohu turns off the dragon, carries onto the back and looking for an angle, flashes and has to go golden. They do kill off the Braum. Reset now for Monkey. Starex popped on the Q, who's hit by the public execution, flashes away. Now Breathe is in danger. Hound's pursuit does not get the kill on the Breathe. And of course the daggers don't quite work until just yet. The bleed finally enough, but they still lose 3.
WE lose the dragon fight. They don't get the smites, and they end up losing 2. It is a 2 for 2. Can Tien find it? He can.
Oh boy, he goes into the shroud, buys some time. The Age Assault comes on down, trying to hit the autos here. Where is Harris going? No flash, no R, and the Comet Spear brings him low.
Protobelt dash and not effective, and Waybo, this should be the fight which wins them the game realistically. The base will be broken 40 seconds now on Karis. I think they'll be able to survive the game on this push, but Waybo do just enough to get the dragon, get a slim advantage in the fight, and get themselves towards that inhibitor afterwards.
Well then, folks, it's been a game of throws, a series of throws. At that guy from the NFL earlier. Maybe we've just got quarterbacks yeeting the game to each other. Vampire flashes away. Ooh. Why?
That's a bit of a tilter. That's why. The early game was great from Vampire as Hex flashed into double pulves. As picks onto more the Pantheon, the Crisp, and the Crisp Braum have done so much work at stopping W from guarding covered fights. This is a flashless Alistair caught out trying to get wards.
Yeah, we'll try and burst the ult and the heal, but to what end? He's just dead.
It's another Vampire flaw of his. It's an understandable one, though. When the game falls away, he tries to put himself at risk to get the miracle ward that would get him the fight. However, much like we saw a lot from last year, he will often die doing so. He does that again here. Realistically, they're not winning standard fights. He tries to put the wards down. Can't blame him for looking, but it does mean that he's double dipped and died.
Look, earlier on, Waybo were not using their teleports, their globals effectively. They've got 4 of them potentially. Now they are. Now they're beginning to flex the muscles a little bit. Finally got a third item on He's gone towards the Immortal Shield bow, actually.
Decent items, feats of strength. Of course, they earn these feats of strength. There's an extra bit of an upper cap in terms of their scaling, but hasn't felt like it's determined that much. Monkey losing Stian heavily in the 1v1. Jesus, he'll have to recall. Now, where's that Q going? I don't think it kills. Well, this will.
And there's the call of back, means nothing. Vampire potentially in danger, but from 3-1 to 5-6, it's been rough.
But Monkey's just died. As Dragon is spawning and Baron is spawning, you have 50 seconds. What's the plan? You go towards the Dragon, I presume, to stop the Soul. W will try and bush break Chris. I mean, I don't think you kill him that quickly.
We'll try their best. Vampire will finally make his will unbreakable, but over they go into the backline. Karras immediately goes golden. Culling cancelled. Vampire.
Oh, the cancel!
But all the while, Light gets value as he brings down 2, and WBG looking real nice at this moment.
Xiao, who breaks the ankles and the neck of Karras, cancelling out his R2 and then sliding onto the other carry. Good late game fight from him. Good late game in general from Waybo after a very, very off and on mid game.
Waybo Gaming hold the line, come back. One dragon fight was all it took, and it's just a mirror of game 1. We're going to 3, and these two teams just won't have a clean game.
Realistically, game 1 should have been Waybo winning if not for a misplay. Realistically, game 2 should have...